What if every hour you spend debugging a production bug is costing your company $5,000 in lost revenue? That's the reality for many IT teams. But what if one terminal command, one sentence in plain English, could find and fix that bug automatically? Today, we're breaking down Claude Code, an agentic coding tool that lives in your terminal, reads your code base, edits files, and runs tests all through natural language. No fluff, no gatekeeping, just real, actionable content that moves your career forward. It's 2:47 a.m. A developer stares at a serverless function that just failed, threatening a critical financial transaction. She's traced the bug through thousands of lines across 6 microservices, an entire weekend gone. Now imagine she types one sentence into her terminal. Trace the data flow that caused this failure and propose a fix. An AI agent reads the entire codebase, follows the call chain, and delivers the patch in minutes. That agent isn't science fiction. It's called Claude Code. And soon we'll see how it generates an Ansible playbook. Ansible is a popular IT automation platform that uses playbooks to configure systems in seconds. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with 3 real, actionable things. 1. You'll be able to explain exactly what Claude Code is and why its agentic nature matters to an IT pro. 2. You'll know what it costs and exactly how to install it with a single command. 3. You'll see the concrete skills it brings to your workflow, from debugging server glitches to generating Ansible playbooks. No fluff, just what you need to start putting it to work. Claude Code is a terminal-based AI assistant that lives inside your local development environment. Instead of asking a browser chatbot to generate code and then copy-pasting it over, Claude Code reads your entire project structure, opens real files, modifies scripts, runs shell commands, and shows you the output, all from the command line. It's built by Anthropic and uses the Claude model family, but the key is, it's not just a suggestion box. It's an agent that actually does things to your codebase. What sets Claude Code apart is this. It runs on an agentic loop. Imagine a developer asks, refactor the logging module to use structured JSON. Claude Code receives the goal, plans the steps, reads every relevant file, edits the logging calls across 3 modules, runs the test suite, checks the results, and, if a test fails, loops back to fix it. All in one session, no human hand-holding. It's autonomy, not autocomplete. Let's review the workflow you just saw. After Claude Code receives your goal, what comes next? Take a moment before answering. The answer is that Claude first develops a plan, then reads the relevant files, applies changes, runs tests or other validation, and reviews the results before deciding whether additional work is needed. If the outcome isn't correct, it repeats the cycle until the task is complete or reaches a stopping point. That continuous loop of planning, acting, and verifying is what makes Claude Code an engineering agent instead of a traditional chatbot. Pricing, plans, and usage limits change over time, so there's only one recommendation that stays accurate. Always check Anthropic's official pricing page before making a decision. The important distinction isn't the price, it's the billing model. Some users prefer predictable subscription pricing for daily interactive work, while others choose usage-based billing for automation or larger integrations. The right choice depends on how you plan to use Claude Code, not on a static price shown in a video. To install Claude Code, you can run a single curl command that pipes the install script to Bash. The exact URL is on Anthropic's official docs. Make sure you're using the latest one. Many systems already include curl and bash, but if yours doesn't, you may need to install them first. After it finishes, you're just one command away from your first Claude Code session. Before running the installation command, what does your system need? Take a moment before answering. The answer is a supported operating system with the required command line tools available. You'll also need to follow the latest installation instructions from Anthropic's official documentation, since installation commands and system requirements can change over time. The important habit is verifying the current documentation rather than relying on outdated commands copied from old videos. This is what your first 5 minutes look like. After launching, you type a natural language question about a file. Claude reads the script, summarizes its purpose. It's a Flask app. Flask is a lightweight Python web framework, and flags a security issue instantly. That's not just autocomplete, that's an agent that understands your codebase from the inside. James spent 2 weeks treating Claude Code like a search bar, typing one question at a time, copying answers, pasting them into files. His progress was glacial. Then a coworker showed him what happened when you give it a real goal. He typed, "Refactor the authentication module to use OAuth 2 without breaking existing tests." Claude Code mapped the codebase, wrote a step-by-step plan, edited 3 files, ran the test suite, and committed the changes. 20 minutes of work he had assumed would take a day. The key is the agentic loop. Plan, read, edit, test, commit. Think goals, not questions. That's the difference between a 20-a-month force multiplier and a 20-a-month chatbot. Claude Code works differently from a traditional chatbot because it understands relationships across your project rather than looking at a single file in isolation. By reading your directory structure, configuration files, and existing code, it can make decisions that are consistent with the rest of your application. The better it understands the project, the better its recommendations become. Let's reinforce the biggest mindset shift in today's lesson. Why is giving Claude Code a complete goal more effective than asking a series of unrelated questions? Pause before answering. The answer is that a complete goal gives Claude enough context to plan the work, understand relationships across the project, perform multiple steps automatically, and verify the outcome. Better context leads to better reasoning and fewer back-and-forth interactions. The default model may vary by plan. Check the current docs to see which model you will start with. If you need deeper reasoning, switch to Opus, the highest capability model. It excels at handling tricky bugs and complex refactoring. You can change models through a /command or from the desktop app. The switch usually takes effect right away, but the exact steps can change, so refer to the official docs if you're unsure. Every conversation consumes context, and larger codebases naturally require more of it. Claude Code provides tools to help you monitor your current session so you can decide when to continue, compact the conversation, or begin a fresh session. The exact limits depend on your current plan and may change over time, so don't focus on memorizing specific numbers. Instead, develop the habit of periodically reviewing your session usage and choosing the model that best matches the complexity of the work you're doing. For long multi-session tasks, you'll want to pick up where you left off. Claude Code supports session management so you can list past sessions and resume one. The exact /command or flag may change, so always check the official docs for the current syntax. But the concept is powerful. You never have to start from scratch after lunch. Auto mode reduces confirmation prompts during routine work, making repetitive development tasks much faster. It's most appropriate in trusted development environments where you've clearly defined the scope of the work. Even in auto mode, you're still responsible for reviewing the generated changes, running your tests, and confirming that the results are correct before merging or deploying anything. Auto mode increases efficiency. It doesn't replace engineering judgment. These two tools aren't rivals, they're partners. Copilot shines when you're writing code. It guesses the next line, fills in function bodies, and saves you keystrokes. Claude Code works when you need to reason about your whole project, trace a bug across 6 modules, refactor a legacy authentication system, or write a thorough test suite from scratch. You'll often use both. Copilot for the inflow micro-suggestions, Claude Code for the heavy lifting. Pricing-wise, both tools offer different plans. Check their current pricing pages for details. The key is to choose by task, not by cost. Let's review one decision you'll make regularly. When should you choose a higher capability reasoning model instead of a faster, general-purpose model? Take a moment before answering. The answer is when you're solving complex problems such as deep debugging, large refactoring efforts, architecture analysis, or multi-step reasoning tasks. For simpler questions and routine development work, a faster model is often sufficient. Choose the model that matches the complexity of the task, not simply the largest available model. Let's review one of the most important safety decisions you'll make. What's the primary trade-off between auto mode and manual approval? Take a moment before answering. The answer is that auto mode increases speed by reducing routine confirmation prompts, making it ideal for trusted development environments where you've clearly defined the scope of the work. Manual approval keeps you in control by asking before files are modified or commands are executed, making it the safer choice for production systems and sensitive infrastructure. The right mode depends on your environment, but reviewing the final changes is always your responsibility. Here's where it gets real. An IT admin opens Claude Code and types, "Create a server health check script that monitors CPU, memory, and disk usage, and sends an email if any metric exceeds a threshold." Claude Code reads the existing server scripts in the directory, figures out the preferred shell style, writes the plan, and generates this bash script complete with safe integer handling and mail alerts. The admin hits run, sees it execute, and adds it to cron. Cron is the built-in task scheduler on most Linux systems that runs commands on a schedule, so it automatically runs. That's 0 Stack Overflow tabs, 0 trial and error on the awk syntax. Just a goal, an agent, and a reliable script. This is what agentic coding actually means for IT operations. A sysadmin needs to roll out a security patch to 50 Ubuntu servers tonight. Instead of spending hours handcrafting an Ansible playbook, she types one natural language prompt into Claude Code. Claude reads her inventory, writes a full playbook with error handling and a reboot handler, then suggests the right command to run it. This isn't developer-only magic. It's IT infrastructure automation that used to take all afternoon, done in 15 seconds. A pull request sits ready to merge. New discount logic. The dev tested it, but nobody checked what happens when a first-time customer hits that function. Claude Code reviews the Git diff, maps the entire user model across files, and calls out exactly where loyalty points might not exist. It doesn't just spot a missing key. It explains that three other endpoints rely on the same assumption and suggests the safe fallback using .get. That's context awareness no linter, a tool that checks code for errors in style, can match. Let's review one of the most important professional habits from today's lesson. When should you avoid letting Claude Code make changes automatically? Take a moment before answering. The answer is whenever you're working in a high-risk or tightly controlled environment, such as production infrastructure, firewall configurations, compliance-sensitive systems, or security-critical automation. In these situations, every change should be carefully reviewed, tested, and approved before it's applied. Claude Code is at its best when it accelerates exploration, automation, and repetitive engineering work. It should support your judgment, not replace it. These 5 habits separate the IT pros who get real speed from Claude Code from the ones who burn tokens with shallow answers. 1. Always give it a full task, not just a one-liner. 2. Start in a clean Git branch so you can undo anything. 3. Use plan mode to preview changes before applying. 4. Clear context during long sessions to avoid hallucinations. 5. Always review the diffs before you commit. Trust, but verify. New users often hit these 3 traps and then wonder why Claude Code feels dumb. The fix is simple. 1. Asking, "How do I add logging?" is a search query, not an agent task. Tell it exactly what you want. 2. Claude Code has access to your entire file system, but it won't guess which folder matters unless you tell it. 3. Auto mode is a productivity rocket in a dev sandbox, but in production it's a liability. Always review diffs before they hit real infrastructure. Knowing when to put a tool down is as important as knowing how to pick it up. Don't let Claude Code touch your production firewall rules unless you're stepping through every change yourself. If you're building scripts for a PCI, payment card industry, audit, stick to deterministic reviewed code. And if your machine is off the grid, Claude is just a name on a screen. Use it where it shines. Exploration, automation, and fast iteration that you still own and verify. Claude Code evolves quickly, which makes the official documentation one of your most valuable resources. Use it to learn about new/commands, updated installation procedures, supported integrations, workflow recommendations, and the latest capabilities. Rather than memorizing every command from a video, build the habit of checking the documentation whenever you're exploring a new feature. The concepts you've learned today remain valuable even as individual commands and interfaces evolve. Let's finish by locking in the 3 biggest ideas from today's lesson. First, Claude Code isn't simply another AI chatbot. It's an engineering agent that can understand your project, plan multi-step work, make coordinated changes, run validation, and help you complete real development and IT tasks from your terminal. Second, getting started is straightforward, and Claude Code offers billing options designed for different workflows. Because pricing, plans, and usage limits change over time, always refer to Anthropic's official documentation for the latest information before choosing a plan. Third, Claude Code shines when it automates repetitive engineering work so you can spend more time solving problems, designing systems, and reviewing important decisions. It isn't a replacement for engineering judgment. It's a tool that helps you apply that judgment more efficiently. Let's finish with one question. What's the single biggest habit that turns Claude Code from an interesting AI tool into a genuine productivity multiplier? Take a moment before answering. The answer is treating Claude as a collaborative engineering assistant instead of a code generator. Give it clear goals, provide meaningful context, review every recommendation, verify the results, and let it automate repetitive work while you remain responsible for the final decisions. That's the workflow professionals use every day. In the next lesson, we'll install Claude Code step by step, verify your environment, troubleshoot common setup problems, and get everything ready for daily use. Once you're set up, you'll be ready to follow the rest of this masterclass and start using Claude Code on real projects. Remember, careers aren't built by watching videos. They're built by applying what you learn. Pick one thing from today's lesson, build it, document it, and share it. That's how you get hired. Thanks for watching Hired in IT, where we're turning IT knowledge into career opportunities.